Michael Myers from Halloween.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. I think he'll come back to us.
I met him 15 years ago. I was old, there was nothing left. No compass, no reasoning, no sense of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong, and even the most rudimentary sense of good. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't say that. All right. I met this 44-year-old child with this blank, pale, and motionless. What? I'm sorry. 6? Oh, fuck, man, that's never gonna fly with a fucking audience. But I'll say it because that's the way you wrote it. I met this 6-year-old child with his blank, pale, and motionless face. The blackest eyes. Lucifer's eyes. And I... What? I'm sorry. Devil, Lucifer, same damn thing. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Savini Jason here, and it's time to review Halloween. Released in 1978, John Carpenter's classic that we all know and love, that nobody seems to ever get enough time to talk about. It's the most underrated fucking horror movie ever made. So let's talk about the son of a bitch. Starting out with the beginning of it. Now, this movie is basically the story of a 6-year-old child, 44-year-old child, 6-year-old child, committing a heinous crime, brutal murder of his 17-year-old sister, Judith Myers. Just way the fuck off base because the kid just like snaps out of nowhere, man. That's what's so cool about Michael fucking Myers. And no, that's not his middle name. It's actually Audrey. But I got a feeling Michael don't like the fact that he's got a girl name as his middle name. But who gives a shit? It's Michael fucking Myers. So yeah, he killed his sister at the age of 6 years old for really no reason at all. We have no fucking idea what the hell happened. Like maybe she pissed in his cornflakes or something, or he didn't get his oatmeal just the right amount of heat that morning. You know, it was just something pissed him the fuck off that day, and he flew the fuck off and butchered her like a Thanksgiving turkey. You know, he creeped up inside when she went upstairs to have that quickie with her boyfriend, which was kind of like took a minute to do it. So I'm guessing he was a 1-minute man. Not that good. Then he flies down the stairs, runs out. He's like, Judith's from upstairs. She's like, "You're gonna call me tomorrow, right?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, he's not gonna call you tomorrow. Get the fuck out of here." So he runs out. Michael creeps in, takes the butcher knife. By the way, that's Deborah Hill's hand that takes the knife. Goes upstairs, grabs the clown mask, walks into her room, and from behind, while she's sitting there brushing her hair, naked, looking hot as fuck, she turns around, "Michael!" and just stabs the bitch over and over and over. And like, you know, I get it. She was caught by surprise by her 6-year-old brother, but come on, dude. A 6-year-old child comes at me with a knife. I'm gonna bitch slap the hell out of him. Get the fuck out of here. No 6-year-old killing me. You serious? So yeah, you flash forward 15 years later, Michael is now in Smiths Grove Sanitarium. He has been sent there. He was arrested, I'm guessing, took into custody that night after his parents just stood there looking at him with their hands in their pockets like a couple of dumb shits. "Michael? Oh my god, he killed Judith. Oh, well, let's just stand here with our hands in our pockets like a couple of fucktards." Now I get why they did that. It's called a tableau in theater art. If you stand there frozen in time, that's supposed to pretty much do a symbolic notion of what they do in theater is known as a tableau, where you have a moment frozen in time. Basically, it's what I've learned from watching other videos and shit. Dave McCree. Anyways, yeah. In case people wonder what that is, that's what that means. That's why they're standing there like a couple of fucktards staring at Michael like that. So yeah, 15 years later, Michael breaks out of Smiths Grove, and no, it wasn't Dr. Loomis's fucking fault. Despite what Brackett says, Loomis was not at fault. They have a deleted scene where he goes to the Joint Chief of Staffs at the boardroom meeting of Smiths Grove and urges them to keep Myers locked up, which is an awesome deleted scene. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's available on here somewhere. And he urges them to keep Michael locked up or at least transferred to a more secure facility. He urges them not to keep him there at Smiths Grove because it's insufficient security. You know, they're not prepared for what Michael is, and they think he's a catatonic kid just sitting there, not doing shit. But it's all fake. It's all bullshit. It's all a facade for Michael to escape and carry on his bloody rampage. You also have Jamie Lee Curtis in this, playing Laurie Strode, Michael's estranged sister that he didn't know about, that we didn't know about until Halloween 2, until John Carpenter had to come up with an idea for a sequel, and he puts it down to a night of too much to drink and sitting in front of a typewriter, and he was literally had no idea going around, so he just put, you know what, fuck it, they're brother and sister. Jamie Lee Curtis, this was her first movie, and she did damn good as Laurie Strode. I loved her in this. She was fucking awesome. You also have PJ Souls from Rock and Roll High School and Carrie playing Linda, the hot blonde slut in this. So smoking hot. Damn, that girl had a nice pair of tits. I'm sorry, but whenever I think about boobs, that just gets me off track. But as Drewski would say, we're not here to talk about that. Yeah, so Linda was hot. Totally fucking hot, totally smart ass, totally the life of the totally fucking Halloween party, totally. She had a totally awesome death. It was totally brutal the way Michael strangled her with a phone cord. And then you had Annie, the smart-ass part of the group. Laurie was a reserved, kind of quiet virgin type, and Linda was the promiscuous, slutty cheerleader blonde, stereotype, and Annie was just a smart-ass, little quirky, kind of promiscuous in her own way, but a little more reserved than Linda. She didn't just flaunt the shit out, she kind of kept her shit hidden like Laurie. Nancy Loomis as Annie, though, is one of my negatives, because the way she drags her lines out when she says, Lindsay, the dog's barking again, getting on my nerves again. Oh, Paul, Actually, I like that song when she sings that. That's not a bad song. I actually like that. But Annie's just kind of annoying. That's just the only thing. I don't like how she drags her lines in this. Kind of annoying. Her death's cool, when Michael stabs her in the car and slices her fucking neck. That was awesome. I like that. Like I said, Linda's death was really cool. Seeing Michael strangle her with a phone cord after she thought it was Bob in a ghost suit, a ghost sheet, carrying a beer around. That was cool too. And the relationship between Dr. Loomis and Myers is something I want to talk about real quick before I end this. Like I said, Loomis urged Smithsgrove to keep Myers locked up for however long it took, to keep the Mucky locked up into the Mucky cage until the Mucky dies of old age. That's all you gotta fucking do. He understands Michael in a way that nobody does. It's almost like a father-son relationship between Loomis and Myers, because he knows what he's thinking before he even does it, before he even thinks it, And he does all he can to warn the people of Haddonfield, the sheriff's department, and everybody, this shit's gonna go down. This shit's gonna happen. He's gonna come here and he's gonna kill every damn body he can. He doesn't exactly know why Myers is coming back, other than just to relive that grisly night of his murder of Judith Myers. But excuse me. Loomis tells everybody, you need to get prepared, because this motherfucker ain't fucking around. He's gonna come back and he's gonna kill the shit out of everybody. But they don't listen. And then you get that awkward, dumbass conversation between Brackett and him that says, well, if you're all right, and he is here, damn you for letting him go. He didn't let him go, you fucktard. He escaped. There's a fucking difference between letting someone go and escaping. Even in Halloween 2, after Annie dies, he discovers Annie's body. What have you done? You let him out! Brackett, you're a fucking idiot. He didn't let him out, you fucking idiot. He escaped. There's a big fucking difference there. But I can go on and on about that, and I'll cover that more in Halloween 2's review. But the score in this, John Carpenter nailed the shit out of the Halloween score, Dun, 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 dun. It's subtle as shit, Just the way he did that is just a simple way of making that piece of music become the most iconic piece of horror music ever. Well, film music, actually, in the film industry. That's the most iconic shit, Even John himself has it as his ringtone. So that I found out recently, anyways. But, yeah, Halloween, it was a $300,000 budget, and they had to do everything on a shoestring budget back then, They had to import fake leaves and take them from location to location, move them around, bag them up when they were done filming. A handful of people played Myers in this. Actually, 6 people, I think, played him. Just there's so much shit behind the scenes that I'd love to get into that I don't have enough time. They shot the movie in 21 days, you know, and Donald Pleasence, who played Loomis, you know, his character, Sam Loomis, is an homage to Psycho, because John was such a big fan of that film, and Jamie Lee Curtis, her daughter, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, throwback to Psycho right there, and that connection. Sam Loomis was the boyfriend of Janet Leigh's character in Psycho, if you didn't know. Just all kind of different homages and shit, you know. And then in H2O, we actually get Janet Leigh makes a cameo in it. Not as that character from Psycho, but just having her in it, driving the car from Psycho in H2O was cool as fuck. And then the ending of Halloween was badass, because you get that cliffhanger ending of Myers getting shot off the balcony after he attacks Laurie, you know, and sawed out, killed all her friends off. Come after her and Tommy Doyle and Lindsay, you know, and Loomis shows up just in time to blow his shit away 16 times. Shoots him out the back of the window, off the balcony, and he disappears. And you're left like, what the fuck? Because this was meant to be like a Twilight Zone kind of thing, a one-off, you know, where it was never going to be happening again. You were never going to know if Myers escaped, if he was alive or dead. You was just supposed to know that he's out there watching and waiting. Kind of like Summer of '84, where he tells that boy that, you know what, I'm not going to kill you. I'd rather let you live with the thought that I'm always going to be out there, and you're not going to know when or where I'm coming, or where I'm coming from. So that's kind of like what Myers did with Laurie. He didn't want her. He tried to kill her, but the way he left off like that, and the way it was intended to be, where we never got to see Myers again and know if he would ever came back, because it was supposed to be a one-off and not a continuation. They didn't want to do the sequel until '81. So imagine what would have happened if we had never got Halloween 2, and it would just ended with Michael falling off the balcony and disappearing into the night. Just, it's a creepy fucking feeling knowing that the boogeyman's still out there and you never know when he's coming back. It's just, it's unsettling, but effective as fuck. So yeah, this is my review of Halloween 1978. Oh, and by the way, I would never forget myself if I don't mention this. My good friend Brandon Buchanan on Facebook. He's a great guy. He's a big Myers fan. And my homegirl Cindy Stokes. We recently seen Halloween, the original, in Spanish translation, Spanish language. This shit is funny as fuck, dude. It's so funny. Like, if you go back and watch this movie in Spanish and see them characters deliver the lines in Spanish, Spanish Loomis is something of comedy gold. It's just funny as fuck. And Brackett and Annie, when Annie rolls up smoking weed with Laurie in the car, and she says, "Hola, papa," and he's like, "Adios, chicas, adios, papa." That shit's funny as fuck, man. It's so fucking funny. It just kills me every time I see it. I've seen it twice. You need to watch it. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. Check that shit out. Spanish Halloween. It's funny as fuck. So yeah, nothing left to say but adios, chicas, and adios, papa. Hola.